Yo, and welcome to my first battle report in about a year, and my first ever 40k battle report. I played against a charming gentleman by the name of John from the Warhammer forum. This is only my first game in the new edition, and only his maybe third or fourth game, so it did take quite a long time, and we were going back and forth between the rulebook and codexes quite a lot. So that's why I'm not going to show the battle in its entirety. I'm just going to talk over some stills and then throw in some videos of some amusing moments. 1200 points, Dark Angels against Chaos Space Marines. Now, funnily enough, I forgot to take any pictures of his army close-up wise, so I'll just have to use this delightful stock footage of his miniatures. First of all, he has 2 squads of Chaos Space Marines. I can't find a picture of the other one, so this will have to do. An Obliterator, squad of Havocs, a Chaos Lord with a pair of lightning claws. I believe this model was painted during the game, but obviously not in this picture. Unit of Thousand Suns Space Marines, a Rhino, which will be carrying the Thousand Suns, a Hellbrute with, I believe, twin las cannons, and 2 Chaos Spawns, of which I can only find a picture of one. And he also had a Sorcerer, but I can't find a picture of that anywhere. Now onto my army, which you can see in all its glory here. This is every model I currently own, Space Marine wise, apart from a couple of characters that I'm not really going to be using much. So my tactical squad: Plasma Pistol Sergeant, Plasma Gun, Plasma Cannon, typical Dark Vengeance. Same with this squad here of Terminators, Assault Cannon, 1 Chain Fist. Next squad of Terminators, a bit of a twist. Almost the same, but it has Cyclone Missile Launcher instead of an Assault Cannon. Bike squad with Plasma Gun. 5 Deathwing Knights. And Belial, which means that my 2 squads of regular Terminators will be troop choices, which is nice because they can claim objectives. Now, here is how the battlefield looked before we began. Kind of an industrial area at the front there, and towards the back more trees and hills. Now we drew the mission and the deployment, and it was the relic with the diagonal deployment setup, which you can see me arranging here with dice, sorting out where the deployment zones are. And there's my deployment. You can see my bike squad behind the trees there, and the tactical squad just next to them. All the Terminators will be deep striking in. And there is his deployment. Unit of Chaos Space Marines at the bottom there. Rhino with the Sorcerer behind it. 2 Chaos Spawns. Behind the building you can see the Havocs, and in the ruins in the middle of the board you can see he has another squad in there. And his Warlord is around there as well. I got the first turn, so there is me moving up my bike squad, although actually this is their scout move, moving into the middle of the table a bit. And then with my real first turn, I bring in all the Terminators, using the bike's teleport homers for a nice precision deep strike there. Both of those Terminator units brought in right around the relic, and then my Deathwing Knights at the back of the board behind his lines. They're going to cause some trouble there. The way I look at it, his big threat to me was that Havoc unit with all those heavy weapons that could deprive me of some of my precious saves. So if I can take them out first, that should make things a lot easier for me. And now here, we're on to my shooting phase, which is very ineffective all round. And I'm going to insert a little video clip here of what happens to my plasma cannon.
I'm going to do that next, so...
Yeah, well that's just great.
Is that...
That means it gets hot, so he needs an armor seat.
Oh, really? Oh. Oh, this first round's going excellent.
And he's dead.
Go on, man!
Move on to his turn, and his Warlord moves over towards his squad of Chaos Space Marines there. Probably trying to get away from all those Terminators. Doesn't want to face them on his own. Down here, his Havocs managed to kill off... Oh no, it wasn't his Havocs actually, it was his Obliterator that managed to kill off a single Deathwing Knight with a plasma cannon. Landed right in the middle of them, hit them all, and he failed one save there. And there you can see the table at the end of all his movement. You can see that his Rhino is moving up, and his 2 spawns are moving towards the Relic and the Terminator squads. And then in his assault phase, the spawns move into the Terminator squad there. We'll see how wise that is in a minute. The Terminators do better in the combat than he does, but I don't manage to kill them off, so nothing happens there. My next turn, the Tactical Squad move up a tad onto the hill, for the most part, apart from the ones who won't actually stand on the side of the hill, so they're just going to be lying down, representative of their true location. My Deathwing Knights spread out a bit, and get ready to go in for the kill against those Havocs. And there they are, they've moved in. And this is going to be fairly brutal, because Deathwing Knights, their weapons are usually AP 4, unless they use their smite attack. But against Chaos, they're AP 3. So an army like this with a vast amount of power armor is not going to last long in combat against these. So I'll throw in a clip of that to show you how devastating they can be.
It would need a miracle at this point. Okay, that many die.
And there's his Havocs just wiped off the table, which allows the Deathwing Knights to consolidate an inch towards his Obliterator and Warlord and the squad in the ruins. I should point out that all the shooting up to this point has been god-awful, and barely anything has been killed, so that's why you haven't heard much about the shooting phase. My Terminators in the middle finish off the Chaos Spawn, both of them. So that's 2 units killed in the same turn, so I definitely have first blood there, which is going to be very handy, especially if I can hold onto that Relic. That's really a guaranteed win. In his next movement phase, you can see that his Rhino is continuing to edge up there, and his squad of Chaos Space Marines at the bottom there are moving back into the fight. They weren't necessarily awfully positioned because he didn't know where I was going to deep strike, but they were quite far away. There he is unloading his 1,000 Suns from the Rhino, ready to unleash their fire. And his Hellbrute moves up to engage those Terminators in the middle. I was fairly confident about that. His 1,000 Suns open fire on the Bike Squad with their special AP3 bolters, which are very nasty, and he rolled a lot of wounds. So the Bikes are wiped off the face of the earth. They did their job of allowing my Terminators to precision deep strike around the objective though, so I'm not too upset about that. In his assault phase, the Hellbrute finishes off its move into the Terminators, and he attempts to assault my Deathwing Knights with his Chaos Space Marine squad, his Obliterator and his Warlord. The Chaos Space Marine squad made it. However, the Warlord and the Obliterator both failed their assault moves, so they just stand there. As if saying, "Come on lads, let's go and get him." And then when everyone else starts charging, they just stand there and wave them on to their death. His Hellbrute does massive damage to my Terminators, and I fail to do anything back to him. And you'll see what happens here in this video clip.
Otherwise. Right, so we can't do the sweep, so you guys have fled, so I can do a sweeping advance, I presumably.
I imagine so.
Which basically we both roll. This is a rule I always find a bit odd. Basically, you both roll, add it onto your initiative. If I win, I basically kill you both.
Okay.
As you're running away, I
Both initiative
4, so 6, 3.
Okay.
Both dead.
So the relic just sits there.
So the relic drops.
I know in a previous edition Space Marines couldn't be killed by sweeping advance, but I couldn't find anything in the book about how it is right now, so if anyone knows what you do with Space Marines in that kind of situation, then leave a comment, because I'm sure that seems wrong somehow. So that's one unit of Terminators down. So at this point I'm down a Terminator squad and a bike squad. He is down a unit of Havocs and the Chaos Spawn. I'm still quite confident though, because one of his units is still quite far away. In the rest of the assault phase, my Deathwing Knights kill off his entire unit of Chaos Space Marines without their character support that they sorely needed, and then they move up a little bit further. In my turn here, my Terminators in the middle abandon the idea of standing near the relic and turn round to face those 1,000 Suns, because I really don't want them opening fire on my tactical squad, because that would probably spell the end for them. So the Terminators are going to face off with them, who are much more up to the task of handling them, as far as I can tell. And there's going to be a video clip here of the Terminators shooting at the 1,000 Suns.
7 saves.
7, so 7 plus 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3's up.
Oh my goodness.
My word.
That is bad.
So if you want to take a photograph, I think you should take a photograph of that roll there. 2, 3, 4. So that's 6 dead.
So there's the corpse pile. Not bad. And then I was attempt to charge them.
Although that's not that great, because I might fail the charge distance now.
Oh man, devastated. Oh, I can't believe it.
Okay, let's see how far we go. Ooh, that'll do.
Easy, easy. Yeah, squish them all in there. Oh man, this is devastating for the 1,000 Suns.
Over on the other side of the table, the Deathwing Knights move into his Warlord. Belial's Warlord trait does give me an extra victory point if he manages to kill the enemy Warlord. However, I'm not entirely confident of either of them being able to kill each other, because his sword is only AP 3, and the Chaos Warlord only has lightning claws. So they're not going to be depriving each other of their saves, so they could just be slashing at each other for the whole game. The Terminators by the Rhino managed to kill off the rest of the 1,000 Suns easily in combat. His Warlord issues a challenge and Belial accepts it. I was weighing up whether to do that or not, because I could have struck at him with all my AP2 Deathwing Knight weapons with the smite attack on the charge. But I thought, Belial isn't the kind of guy that would turn down a challenge. And besides, if I do kill him, I'll get a bonus victory point for it. So it's worth the risk, I think. His turn. His remaining squad of Chaos Space Marines there head for that relic. They were kind of stranded for the whole game so far, but they're making a push now. The Rhino moves up a bit more to open fire on that tactical squad, and the Hellbrute chases them down. The game starts to go by very fast at this point, because there's not that much stuff left, to be honest. His Chaos Space Marine squad run to get behind that building, to get a bit closer to the relic, with only a couple of turns left. And his Hellbrute assaults the tactical squad, manages to kill a few of them, but not enough to make them run away. His Obliterator assaults the Deathwing Knights, and is thoroughly obliterated with the smite attack, which I decide I might as well use because there's no other viable targets left other than his Warlord, who is locked in combat with Belial. And the Chaos Warlord and Belial keep swinging at each other, but they can't do anything. My turn. The tactical squad start edging towards the relic, around the Hellbrute, and my remaining Terminator squad there at the bottom come up behind his Chaos Space Marines to intercept them before they can do any damage. And then they assault them, and they wipe out quite a lot of them. In his turn, the Hellbrute turns round, and the Rhino moves towards the relic. The combat between the Terminators and the Chaos Space Marines continues, and the Terminators manage to wipe most of them out, and the ones that are remaining run away, and they're fleeing towards the table edge. At this point, my tactical squad moved down onto the relic, and there are only about 2 or 3 of them left, at most. And then we have a video clip here where he tries to kill them off finally, so that nobody will be on the relic at the end of the game.
Yeah, so one dead.
Right, let's
Damn you!
get that one.
So it survived!
See if one of these warlords can actually die now.
Go on then. Oh, god damn it. 3 hits.
One wound.
And 2 hits.
2 saves for me, 1 for you.
Well, you first. Oh! So what? How many saves have I got?
And they both.
Right, let's get the post-game handshake right in front of the camera. Well, there's the final score. I had a man on the relic, I had First Blood, and I had Line Breaker. I had multiple units in his deployment zone at the end of the game, and he didn't manage to get any victory points. The 2 warlords couldn't kill each other. So, in the end, it looks like a very one-sided victory for the Dark Angels. I'm sure we probably got a few rules wrong along the way, but it's a learning experience. And maybe next time I'll show you a bit more of the battle. There won't be quite so much stopping and starting for rulebook consultations. So, I'll try to do quite a few more battle reports over the next few months. My main Warhammer Fantasy opponent is back from his great expedition, so there should be more halfling battles coming up, hopefully halflings against vampire counts pretty soon, and he also has a 40k Imperial Guard Praetorian army, so I'll be having some games against that as well. I'll also be doing some stuff with Dreadball in the near future, maybe some games on Google Plus online against people, and then maybe a few in person as well. So I will see you next time. Toodaloo.